Today's tactic is so good that it turned Kyogo Furuhashi into the Japanese Erling Haaland and allowed RC Lens to at least take one of 2 trophies away from PSG within Ligue 1. This is a tactic that can help you dominate if you're one of the bigger sides in your league, or even if you're an underdog, gives you a chance to topple the big 6 if you're in the Premier League, or even a top dog like Bayern Munich or PSG. For today's tactic, I decided to test it with Celtic and RC Lens, as you could probably already tell by the 2 teams that I mentioned prior. And in the test with Celtic, they ended up winning the league on 98 points with a goal differential of 97, scoring a total of 127 goals, which 55 of them came from Kyogo Furuhashi. They unfortunately went out in the round of 16 in the Champions League. They were runners-up in the Scottish Cup, and they won the Premier Sports Cup. But I have run multiple tests with this side, with Celtic, and they, a majority of the time, do end up winning the treble. But not only did they have the most goals for in the league with 127, they also had the most possession in the league with an average possession of 65%. They had 3 players in the top 8 in scoring, with Kyogo Furuhashi having 55, David Turnbull with 19, and Matt O'Reilly with 14. They had 6 of the top 8 players for assists, David Turnbull having 25, Jota with 19, Aaron Moy and Matt O'Reilly both with 13, Colin McGregor with 12, and James Forrest with 10. 4 players were in for the top 8 in key passes as well, Aaron Moy having 165, David Turnbull with 107, Colin McGregor with 100, and Matt O'Reilly with 96. And Joe Hart had 17 clean sheets. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, okay, how did this tactic turn Furuhashi into the Japanese Erling Haaland? Well, in all competitions, he scored 76 goals. And for a striker that usually doesn't do that, that is very impressive. Now, RC Lens ended up finishing 3rd in Ligue 1, and they ended up winning the Coupe de France, taking that off of PSG. Now, just like Celtic, RC Lens were the top goal scorers in Ligue 1, scoring 97 goals. So even though they finished in 3rd, they still outscored PSG. And a stat that is actually quite surprising for this tactic, and in a moment you will see why, they ended up finishing 1st in most dribbles made with 836. And another thing that was fantastic about this is that Luis Openda gave Kylian Mbappe a run for his money, only finishing 3 goals behind him with 42, while Mbappe finished on 45. RC Lens also got to have the 2 top assist men in the league, with Angelo Fulgini having 20 and David Pereira da Costa having 16. And both of whom finished in the top 2 for most key passes, Pereira da Costa having 152 and Fulgini having 138. Now overall, Mr. Luis Openda had 53 goals in all competitions. So yes, it wasn't 76 goals like Kyogo Furuhashi, but still pretty up there and still pretty impressive. And they had 3 players finish in double-digit assists, being Fulgini with 24, Da Costa with 16, and Seko Fofana with 10. Now, Celtic have 5 players finish on double-digit goals, one of those being Kyogo Furuhashi with 76, David Turnbull put in 27, Matt O'Reilly with 18, and Said and Daisen Maeda both had 13. What was also pretty impressive with Celtic is that they had 7 players finish on double-digit assists. David Turnbull not only had 27 goals, but he had 34 assists, Jota with 24, Aaron Moy with 20, Colin McGregor with 17, Matt O'Reilly with 16, Said with 14, and James Forrest with 11. And Mr. Kyogo Furuhashi finished with the average rating of 8.34. But enough of the numbers, let's look at the tactic. So here we are with the 3-4-2-1 arrow. One of the reasons why I said that the most dribbles surprised me with RC Lens is that we are utilizing defensive wingers, and defensive wingers usually aren't that offensive. So being able to have a side that utilizes defensive wingers and a 3 in the back system be top with most dribbles is pretty impressive. But this tactic features an advanced forward on attack up top, followed by 2 attacking midfielders on attack behind him, 2 defensive wingers on support out wide, a deep line playmaker on support in midfield with a ball-winning midfielder on support as well, 2 ball-playing defenders on defend outside of a central defender on cover, and a sweeper keeper on support. Now getting things started up top, we've got an advanced forward on attack here, which shoot more often. Both attacking midfielders only have shoot less often. Both defensive wingers on support only have crosses aimed at center. The deep line playmaker on support has crosses aimed at the far post to tackle harder. The ball-winning midfielder crosses aimed at the far post. Both ball-playing defenders on defense stay wider. The central defender on cover stays as is, and the sweeper keeper on support also stays as is. Now, when it comes to mentality with this tactic, it is played with a positive mentality, and you can get a lot more out of it with an attacking mentality. Just be aware that you will probably concede more goals by doing so. If you want to concede less goals but still have a pretty good goal scoring threat within your side, feel free to go balanced, because any of the three are great options. Now, when we're in possession of the ball, we play fairly wide in the attacking width. We play out from the defense, work the ball into the box, use low crosses in the final third, slightly shorter passing directness, and slightly higher tempo. When we're in transition, we counter press, distribute quickly to the center backs. Once we're out of possession, we have a high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line, more often trigger press, aka more often pressing intensity, and we trap to the outside. So now that we've gone over the tactic, let's see how it performs within the match engine. Now, the match engine showcases just how good this tactic is and how good it looks as well, because it looks like absolutely beautiful football. But what I want you guys to realize about the match engine footage that you guys just saw, those were all the Champions League matches for Celtic. I chose not to show it within the league because a lot of people are probably saying, well, Celtic usually dominate the league anyways. Well, they were in a Champions League group of Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, and Atletico Madrid, and made it out, which is very, very impressive. And in two of those games that you saw, they beat Atletico Madrid 5-0 and Dortmund 3-0, while getting a 3-3 draw with Manchester City. But as we can tell from the numbers and from the match engine footage, this tactic looks like a boatload of fun to utilize. So definitely feel free, give this a go. I'll be linking it in my Discord, which will be linked down below in the description. So feel free to download it, give it a go yourselves. Let me know how you guys get on with it, and if you guys do enjoy it, let me know how many trophies you guys end up bringing home as well, because as we could tell, RC Lens was even able to take one off of PSG, which is not an easy thing to do in French football. But if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.